Hello everyone and welcome to the Weekly Rewind presented by Attractions Magazine. This episode is for Friday, November 20th, 2015. I'm your host, Banks Lee. As always, we're going to take a look back at the past 7 days of our Twitter feed at Attractions. So let's get started with last Friday. On November 13th, we were over at Epcot for the grand opening of the new Colortopia exhibit inside Innoventions. This exhibit just shows you different uses for all of the colors that you can use to paint walls and stuff like that. Really fun interactive elements to it. You can see our show host Haley go through this exhibit on this past week's episode of the show. That day over at Magic Kingdom was the final day for the Disney Parks Unforgettable Christmas Celebration taping. This was done on Main Street for this day, all the parade portions. Here you can see some characters getting ready for the opening of the parade. In fact, you see Joy and Sadness there. This was their Magic Kingdom debut during the taping. And here are hosts Jesse Palmer and Robin Roberts from Good Morning America getting ready to cut the ribbon and start the parade. Once this happened, there was a flurry of snow on Main Street, and you can see just how much snow quote-unquote snow piled up there on Main Street. You can see their warm-up host, Mark Daniel, trying to make a snow angel. Another character debut that happened during the parade taping was Captain Phasma from the Star Wars The Force Awakens. This was her debut in any Disney park, especially at Walt Disney World, so I cannot wait to see her marching with the other First Order Stormtroopers when the Christmas celebration airs on ABC Christmas Day. That night, we were over at Magic Kingdom for the Very Merry Christmas Party, having some fun walking around. We have several videos from the party up on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/attractionsmagazine. This is, of course, the entrance to the Jingle Cruise. This is the Christmas overlay for Jungle Cruise. Here's a look at Jack Skellington's autograph card. He doesn't sign. When you go get a photo with him over in Storybook Circus, you get this autograph card if you want his autograph. Helps keep the line moving, which I love. November 14th, we noticed in Starbucks around Disney Parks property at Walt Disney World, they have special holiday mugs available. Also, the You Are Here mugs that you can generally buy, they have smaller ornament versions of those, which is really cool. That night on November 14th, we were over at the Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights, and we noticed the black cat right here. He's moving this year. About every week or so, they move him to a new location. Usually he's just in one location, but with this being the final year for the display, looks like they're having fun and constantly moving it around and keeping people on their toes. November 16th, over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, they debuted the brand new scene based on The Force Awakens for Star Tours. You can see a spoiler-filled description of this on our blog. I'm not going to spoil it right now, but it's pretty cool. It makes me really excited to see the movie when it comes out next month. November 16th, over at Disney Springs inside Once Upon a Toy, the back two rooms of that store are now behind walls. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is going to be moving from World of Disney to this location, bigger space, and allow for the expansion to finish over at World of Disney. November 17th, back over at Disney Springs, we were going around taking some photos for Instagram as part of an Insta Walk that Disney invited us to. So these are some photos of some of the holiday decorations that you can find at Disney Springs right now. You can go to our Instagram page to see more photos from this Disney Springs walk. November 17th was also the very first day of the annual IAAPA Attractions Expo at the Orange County Convention Center. This is one of my favorite things to go to every year because we get to go and see all the different kind of new rides, exhibits, and stuff that may be coming to a theme park near us in the near future. Like right here from Sally Corporation, the people who made the DC Battle for Metropolis ride for Six Flags, they have already designed a Walking Dead attraction. It's not sold to any parks yet, but they have the partnership with AMC already in place, so it's ready to be bought by any park. I'd love to see this somewhere come here in Orlando, but no word yet on what park may buy this attraction idea. For us here in Central Florida, though, one of the big things that they unveiled at IAAPA this week was the first look at the model for Cobra's Curse that's coming to Busch Gardens in Tampa next year. Coaster looks so much fun. They were describing it to me on how the coaster is going to work and what it's going to do, and it looks just, like I said, it's going to be fun. I cannot wait to ride this. Hopefully spring of 2016 is when it will open. Lots of things can be found on the IAAPA show floor, from rides to also different types of food. Beaver Tails is one of the most popular things at the expo. This, I don't know if you know this used to be at Epcot, actually, in the Canada Pavilion for 8 years, and then the contracts ended, but we're hearing rumors that maybe Disney is talking to them about maybe bringing it back. I hope so, because these are delicious. That night on November 17th, we were over at Fun Spot America for something special they were doing just for IAAPA this week, a VR coaster. Basically, you ride Freedom Flyer at Fun Spot while wearing virtual reality goggles. I know it looks silly, and it looks like it defeats the purpose of a roller coaster, but it doesn't. It adds so much to the ride and makes it just even more intense than it really is. The virtual reality simulation inside the goggles was made specifically for the movements of Freedom Flyer. So what Freedom Flyer usually is, it's a family coaster, but what was happening in there was just, whoa, so cool. You'll be able to see a preview of this and the whole IAAPA show floor on next week's episode of the show. In fact, speaking of which, there is our show host Lisa riding a spinning drop ride at the IAAPA show floor. This is really one of the cool things about IAAPA is you can actually ride some of the rides that they have on display there and that are trying to sell to various parks. November 18th, we were back at Hollywood Studios for the Osborne Spectacle of Dancing Lights. This time it was part of a special Disney Parks blog meetup, exclusively for the meetup attendees there. We got to see the lights, we got to hear music that's not normally played for the lights, learn a little bit about the history of them. It was so cool to be able to spend some quality time there without huge crowds. And one of the cool things that I liked about doing this was getting to be part of an audience for a brand new show that Disney is doing on their parks blog called Inside Disney Parks. So that show, I think, is going to debut sometime this next week. So it really feels like if you ever watched Disney Channel in the 90s, there was a show called Walt Disney World Inside Out. This really, from what I saw while filming, this feels like a new version of that, and I like that. Because I loved that show. So I really can't wait for this to debut and to see where it goes. On November 19th, over at Hollywood Studios, they were doing a special voting event for America's Funniest Home Videos. Every now and then, they will come to Walt Disney World with 10 videos that are part of the $100,000 finale of that season and let guests come into the premiere theater and vote on their favorite video, and then of course whoever wins the $100,000 on the actual show. So that's a really cool way to be able to be a part of this long-running television show on ABC. And if you went into the premiere theater and you did your part in the voting, you got this free t-shirt. And finally, on November 19th, we noticed this billboard for the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights at Hollywood Studios. New billboard I haven't seen before, so I love that they're advertising this. Of course, as I've said, final year for the lights, so if you haven't seen them yet, ever, or you just want to see them one more time, you have till January 3rd. And that's going to do it this week for the Weekly Rewind. Be sure to tune in to the show. As I said, this upcoming week, we will be at IAAPA showing you around the show floor. And until next Friday, we'll see you later. Have fun, guys.